Hi folks, this is Chris Fanning from the Picton Gazette. Thank you, Maestro, for that instrumental rendition of our hit theme song, We're Not Dead Yet. Did I just say hit? Well, it received some airplay on County FM 99.3 on Monday as a part of Lynn Pickering's interview with Karen Valahora and myself on the Grapevine, where we discussed the topic of the state of online news and trying to get the word out in the face of a Facebook ban. If you missed it, you can find it at the County FM archive. I'll leave links in the description below. And while we're on the subject, this week's Gazette features an editorial concerning the fate of news in the internet age. Here's Karen Valahora on that piece.
This is Karen Valahora for the Picton Gazette. I'm here to talk about this week's editorial, which is called Farewell Facebook. And it's about all the good reasons Meta has for banning news on both of its platforms, Facebook and Instagram. Meta wants a world where marketing, advertising, selling, and influencing are allowed, and facts, or things that are not for sale, are not allowed. The Gazette considers the implications of the Facebook news ban for democracies around the world, which depend on clear facts going out to an informed voting public. Speaking of which, next week's editorial is going to be about the decision taken just last night at Council in yet another closed session. Councillors voted 7-6 to pursue their secret settlement negotiations with Picton Terminals. If you don't know that story, it was all over last week's Gazette, and you don't want to miss it. We are calling the councillors, who think this is a great idea, the Secret Seven. When will residents of the county find out the terms of the settlement with Picton Terminals? After it's been accepted. And how are you going to find out about these things with the Facebook news ban? I don't know.
Thank you, Karen. Again, the link is below. Oh, that reminds me. Don't miss the account of improvements to county transit schedule between Picton and Belleville in this week's edition. And exclusively online this week, you will find our seniors and library columns. All the links are in the description below. Well, here we are in a stand of trees. Specifically to mention the lead story this week, the Fawcettville Development Proposal. The Planning and Development Committee stood up for local citizens and local trees and returned the proposed plans for development back to Hilden Homes, citing the failure to take into account the concerns of current residents, including the fate of a stand of protected butternut trees. Read all about it in the link below. And from one green space to another, over to Jason with a segment we're calling Parks on Parks. Jason?
Thanks, Chris. I'm here at London Avenue Park in Macaulay Village, where this beautiful green space and community gathering space was officially opened on June 3rd, and we're going to talk about that in the Picton Gazette this week. This has been a labor of love for a lot of the volunteers here that have helped transform this space. In 2022, it was sun-parched, condemned playgrounds, really not much of an area for the community to gather. But since that time, there's been a lot of local leaders who've come together and made this park into something special. And we're going to talk to Jennifer Hunter, and she's one of the lead volunteers who've really made this happen. So this is a wonderful spot. I'm here with the Miyawaki Micro Dense Forest. It's been supported by a number of local landscaping companies, businesses, and that sort of thing, and a $10,000 green grant from the TD Bank in Picton. So a lot of good things happening here, and a lot of good things planned for down this town hill into Delhi Park. Delhi 2034 is Victoria Taylor's vision of changing Delhi Park, which really hasn't been changed or transitioned too much since it was opened to the public in 1984. But Victoria Taylor has a plan that's been endorsed by council, and it's going to be funded mostly by through grants and external sources. But essentially, the first phase is going to connect this park here in London Avenue through down to Delhi, and then from Delhi up to Main Street. So there'll actually be a pathway from here onto Main Street. It's going to connect different elements, different spots in the community, going from Glenwood Cemetery all the way down to the harbor. So there's a lot of things going on in Delhi in the next decade or so, and we're going to have that story as well. Back to you.
Here we are at the shore again for a few watery items this week. The Picton Terminal story continues in our letters page, and there you'll also find an open letter to Ontario's Premier concerning the state of County Road 49. It's good reading. And in a related shipping update, back in April we reported on the 100-year-old wreck of the Oliver Mowat off Main Duck Island. Just this week, diver Kayla Martin let us know that the buoy has been placed and the wreck is now accessible and open to the public. Another follow-up, a story we covered in March, is coming to fruition. This Canada Day weekend, the fully assembled Lancaster bomber will be on display at Base 31. This is your last chance to see it before the museum containing it will open in 2025. And while we're down here on the water, let me remind you of our Living History section, where we quote from past papers. This week in 1834, we published Evening Scenes on the St. Lawrence. From the moment the sun is down, everything becomes silent on the shore, and the murmurs of the broad St. Lawrence are sometimes for an hour the only sounds that arrest our attention. Read the rest in the paper or at the link below. And finally, admire the art in our cover this week. In celebration of National Indigenous History Month, the Gazette is offering a work by Aileen Cushy. Ms. Cushy was a juror at the 31st Annual Art in the County show, which features 125 works by 88 county artists, and the exhibition runs at the Picton Armory until July the 7th. Check it out. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe below, and we will see you this time next week.